Hey y'all, I love crafting, so today I'm going to show you how to make a hair bow. My oldest is a boy, his name is Spencer, and I love to accessorize with him hats and shoes and things like that, but in the end of the day, boys are boys, and so I was blessed with my little baby girl Stella, and she has literally had a bow on her head since moments after she was born. And she's here modeling one of her bows, and we have a lot of her bows laid out for you to see. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make what I call a crazy top bow. I throw in a lot of ribbons, different lengths and cuts on them, so they go with a lot of different things. So especially for back to school, you're getting outfits, you can kind of round up ribbons that match a few of the outfits, and you only have to make one bow and it will go for multiple outfits. So what you're going to need is a hot glue gun. You're going to need some glue sticks, some hair clips. Now if your little girl wears them in a ponytail, you can get the kind that open up and snap, or you can get these little clips that you pinch that open. I like these for if you're going to put them on a headband or for pigtail bows. That's what she has on hers right now. You can get them a little wider also. You're going to need some wire clippers and then some like needle nose pliers. In the craft sections, you can find these in a pack together. You're going to need some wire. I just use floral wire. And scissors, and then some pinking shears. I use those on some of my bows just to give them a little different texture on the ends of the ribbons. Now, I have a couple jars here. I've made up some little cloth rolls that I sometimes put on the center of the top of the bow. I have ribbons that I save. You want some ribbon? Ribbons that I save at the end of a roll because you can use those in these bows that I'm showing you how to make. And then I also back here have some trims and things that you might want to use. My assistant might have to go play. You want down? Okay. My assistant will be exiting, but you did get to see a crazy top bow in action. Stella, can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
There you go. All right, now down to business. So I like to get a various color assortment of ribbons. I like to mix patterns, polka dots, stripes, floral, and I love some animal print. So just go with what you like. Today I'm going to do a really colorful bow. So for the first round of ribbon, it's going to be your base. So I like a big bow. Everything's bigger in Texas, and just like Nicole and I do our recipes, we do the full recipe. And if you want to cut it in half, you can, but I'm going to go with the full shebang. So I like to make her bows about as big as my hands are when I make a circle out of them. So I'm going to start by just overlapping the ribbon about 5 inches, and I'm going to pinch it right in the middle. And then I'm going to make a loop here, and I'm going to pinch it in the middle. So that would be considered one loop. There's 2 pieces, but that's one loop. And I'm going to do 2 loops per side. So I'm going to make the second loop, and they don't have to be perfect. The way I make my bows, everything's different lengths, and it works, and they're very full bows, and she gets tons of compliments on them. And then I'm going to make one more loop on this side and pinch it in the middle. So I'm right-handed, so I hold it in my left hand. You can kind of tweak it a little bit, turn it to where all the ribbon's facing up, and then I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut mine at a diagonal. Cut it. I'm going to have a little trash pile. So now I'm going to take a piece of wire that I already have cut. It's about 8 inches long, and I'm going to lay it down on top of the bow and pinch it around that section. I'm going to cross it over on the bottom. So then I have it pretty secure, and I can kind of go back and pull my ribbons where I need to make them, fix them a little bit. So then I'm going to pull each side of that, and I'm going to pull that wire tight to where that ribbon's not going to slide around in there. And if you want, at this point, you can take your pliers and pinch it, and then pull it again and get it tight. So now I have my base. I'm going to set this ribbon aside. I might come back to it at the end. So I have the base, and now I've got to think about, I'm going to take a few strips. Now this is where my ribbons, my scrap ribbons come into play also. I have some strips here, just some multicolor and then some animal print. And then I also wanted to pull a little more blue in. So I have this. I also like to throw in some lace or eyelet every now and then. So I'll keep those out. I'm going to cut these. I do about a little longer than the width of the bow on these strips. And so anytime you have a little bit of length left in your ribbon at the end, save it. Put it in a little jar. I could make a whole bow out of scrap ribbons and it would probably turn out pretty cute. So I'm going to cut this ribbon. I'm going to use my pinking shears on this one. Let's cut it. A little longer than the width of the ribbon. And then I think I might do one out of the eyelet also. Now I mix browns and blacks, creams and whites. That way if you ever have an outfit that has both in it, you don't feel like it doesn't match. So I'm going to just pinch these just like I did the base of the bow. I usually do 4 strips of ribbon. I'm going to add in a cheetah print. And then I'm going to lay that down on top of the base of the bow. And I'm going to cross over that wire. Once it's crossed over, I'm going to twist it just one time and get it pulled tight. So there's my second layer. It's getting a little full, but I will still do about 2 more layers. So I'm going to take another wide ribbon. I'm going to pick this bright floral. I love this ribbon. There's fabric that matches this ribbon. I made Stella an outfit, some denim embellished with this fabric and made her a really cute bow out of this. So I have a little bit left over. You can see not much, so the rest of this will go in my scrap jar. So you can choose on this one. I do make it a little smaller. You can choose to do 1 loop or 2. I'm probably going to do 2 because I do like a full bow. But I am doing it smaller. And you can see none of these ribbons are matchy-matchy. They're just, I like the way it feels when all of it doesn't match. I think that's how a lot of clothing for the little kids is going now. You can mix and match a lot of stuff. Oh, also, instead of on this one, I'm going to cut it like this. You can do a, cut a V into it. So I'm going to cut the ends of that one like that. I think switching it up gives it a little more, it's more appealing to the eye. Cut that. So I did that just like the base of the bow. I made 2 loops and 1 straight edge at the end, and I'm going to stick that down on top. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to twist this over, overlap the wires and twist them once. So I'm getting close to being done with the bow. I like to get a really thin ribbon. You can use a plain black, or I have a floral. I actually had a little scrap of the floral left, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I like to do this pretty long, a little longer than the actual bow was. And I just do these just messy loops. I usually do 2. It looks like I'm only going to have enough for 2 with this ribbon. Worked out perfect. Snip it off at the end. Lay that on top. Do the same thing with the wire. Flip it over each other and then twist it once. So then I have just some kind of crazy strings going everywhere. And I'm going to pick out 1 more ribbon to put on the top. I'll do a thinner ribbon. I usually start my base with the wide. Now I'm going to do a small double loop for the top. and it's just some cute yellow polka dots. Go ahead and do the same thing, alternating and pinching in the middle. And leaving your end. I'm going to do this one with the pinking shears. You're going to set that down on the middle. So this will be my last little layer. I'm going to cross the wires and twist them once. My charm is stuck in my ribbon. So I have this bow, which if you look closely, it doesn't technically match anything specifically, but it goes with whatever. I could put this with the outfit she had on, or I could wear it with a plain outfit. So the top, you have a little wire left over. Make sure your ribbon is held tight. And you're going to clip with your clippers, clip that wire. Now I usually just pinch my clippers flat and I push down on top of that wire to get it pushed down really tight, or you could use your needle nose pliers, but my bows get pretty thick and I usually can't reach. So I usually just have to close them up and use that flat edge to push it down. Now for a top, I could use something like this and glue a fabric, I call it a cinnamon roll, down on the top. I could take a piece of ribbon that I used, or use a different fabric or different ribbon, and I could tie a knot. Tie a knot in it and then clip the edges. And I could glue that down on top. Or what I like to do is get a trim, and this is a little rose trim. I could make me a little ball of that and put that on it. That always turns out really cute. Or I could take this if I wanted to do more brown accent and put a little ball of that on the top. I think I do have some brown in here. I don't have any black yet, so I think I'm going to go with the black on top. That way it pulls in both brown and black. And I'm just going to twist that. I'm going to put the ending part of it underneath to where that gets glued down. And take my hot glue gun, and I'm going to put quite a bit of glue down on that middle part, right over the wires, because you want to make sure you get those wires covered so they don't scratch. And I'm just going to push this down in the middle. Now once I push it down, I can check and see, like there's a little loop here that needs to be glued down a little tighter. So I just put some glue down, push it down. And there I have a crazy top bow. You can see I used some of the same fabrics that I've used in other bows, some of the same ribbons and textures, but it doesn't look like any bow she has already. I think I'll put this with a little black onesie and a little cheetah print tutu, and we'll be done. But I'm going to show you also how to put the clip on the bottom. So I like to be able to put a lot of hot glue to make sure that the clip isn't going to fall off the bow. So I'm going to hot glue a strip of ribbon, the thin ribbon, to my clip so that I can make sure the bow sticks well to the clip. So just stick that down on there. You're not going to see that. Watch out, your clip might get a little hot glue between. Just make sure you open it up and clean that out before it gets stuck together. So my ribbon is on there, so now I can really get some hot glue on here and make sure it's going to stick to that bow really well because it's heavy. I'm going to take that. Now the ribbon, here's a cut end and here's a cut end, so I'm going to put this right in the middle of the two loops. I'm going to press that and hold it. And I'll wipe away the excess glue, make sure it's stuck good. And there you have a crazy top bow. You can make this a solid color if you want to, or Team Spirit bow. I have for her to wear to ball games. She has a farm animal bow that she wore for her brother's birthday. St. Patrick's Day bow. Once you know how to make these, you can make them for every occasion and save some money there. She has, this was made especially for her birthday. This was, you'll see it in the cookbook if you go to the Sweet Things section. She's wearing this in the hot fudge picture. So all of these kind of have a story behind them, and it's fun when you get to make it and see your little girl wearing it. So I hope you have fun making crazy top bows, and you can make some some bows to match the cute little outfits that your girls are wearing. Stay tuned, because pretty soon I'm going to be showing you a back to school pillowcase dress with a matching bow. So be sure to check into our blog for that. In the meantime, I hope you get to making some crazy top bows. Happy crafting, y'all!